Welcome back to JB Sports. I'm your host, Sean Burton, and today is Friday, so you know it's all about the normal sports. Really, any day but Wednesday is about the normal sports. But today, we're going to talk a lot about the NBA. There's been a lot of trades, the NBA draft happened, and a little bit about the PLL, Professional Lacrosse League, and we'll start getting into it now. We're going to start with the draft. I mean, just going over some picks. I'll go over like the first like four, because that's the main ones. AJ, he went first. We all knew he was most likely going to go first. Wizards actually have a pretty nasty lineup, like in a good way now. Because if we're looking at it, let's see. Wizards lineup. You got Trae Young at point guard, Anthony Davis at center, Alex Sarr could be a power forward, AJ at small forward, Keyshawn George at shooting guard, Trey Johnson on the bench. Like, you got a lot of good players, and it's looking up for the Wizards. I mean, do I think they're going to be like the best team in the conference? No, but I mean, even if they do trade Anthony Davis, because there's been rumors that he kind of wants out. I mean, they got a lot of people. They got D'Angelo Russell. They got Cam Whitmore, who should be back this year. I know he had an injury that kept him out of last year for a long time, and I think he should be back this year. Yeah, so honestly, they got some great pieces on the roster. Utah Jazz, Darian Peterson, rumored to be number one, and I think the beginning of the college year, and then some stuff happened where it's kind of bouncing back and forth between him and AJ. He goes to the Jazz. Jazz, they got like a lot of these teams. Honestly, their rosters don't look bad at all. I mean, if you're looking at the Jazz, I mean their roster, they have Laurie Markkinen, they have Darian, Ace, and they got who else? Is it um Triple J? Like they're a lot of these lineups aren't looking bad. The bench, I mean, that's where it can be a little rough. The first lineup where I'm probably gonna say it doesn't look the greatest. Memphis, they get Cameron Boozer. I like Cameron Boozer a lot. I think he's gonna be a good player in this league. A lot of people have differing opinions on him. I think he's gonna be good, but he falls. He doesn't fall. A lot of people have him going 3. He goes to Memphis at 3, and then a lot of people saying one of the bigger steals in the draft, which I don't know if it's a steal because it's around where he'd probably go. Chicago gets Caleb Wilson, which Caleb Wilson had to sit out a while because I think it was a broken hand, a broken wrist. Um, he's gonna be good for them. This is a guy I think they needed. 6'10", 215. He's a really good player. So I'm excited for the Bulls. I know Bulls fans are excited. Going through it, I mean, Yaxel Lendenborg going to Golden State was pretty big. Adamara, he's going to the Thunder. Rich get richer, pretty much. Even though they've lost some people. Um, who else? There's a lot of good like picks throughout. The Rockets, though, I liked our pick. We got Bruce Thornton out of OSU. He's a shooter. He can kind of stretch around. And he's a guard, and that's what we needed. I mean, 6'2", 215. If you look at the Rockets, the biggest thing other than, social media stuff happening throughout the year, the biggest thing is we didn't really have a guy who can bring down the ball. He's low turnover. I think this guy's going to be good. A little undersized, but I think he'll be okay. He can shoot. He can command the floor. I like him. I think he's going to be good for us. But I'm not going to talk too much about the draft because I'm going to be honest, I didn't study it too much. I know there was like one player that didn't get traded in the second round, and that was Jaden Bradley to the Raptors, which was insane. Rockets, I think, had 3 picks. One of them got traded to New York, and then one of them got traded to Detroit. So a lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened. But we're gonna go now to the trades, and the trades is where a lot of stuff gets kind of crazy. So first trade June 21st, actually. Thunder trade Aaron Wiggins to the Hawks for some picks. Oklahoma City get 2 second-round picks in 2030 and then 2032, and the Hawks get Aaron Wiggins. I like Aaron Wiggins a lot. I think Aaron Wiggins is a pretty good player, and I believe he's a high percentage 3-point shooter. I mean, regular season 35.6%, in his career 38%. Had a rough postseason, only shooting 11% from the field, but I mean, he's not a bad player by any means. I think he had a rough postseason. Sometimes that just happens, and some people, they just have a rough postseason and then they come back. I think he'll be a good shooter. 43% field goal percentage. I think he'll be good. So I like that trade for the for the Hawks. Thunder I also like it for because they got, I mean, pretty good value out of them. I mean, 2 second rounders isn't bad at all. Um, Next trade, 3-team trade. It was Julius Randle gets sent to the shadow realm pretty much. The Brooklyn Nets get Julius Randle and a first round pick, which was in this draft for, and the Chicago Bulls get Nick Claxton, and then Minnesota gets Mo Gay, I think is how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I butchered it, in a second round pick. I like Nick Claxton for the Bulls. I think that'll work well. Julius Randle, of him and MPJ is going to be very interesting. I wonder how that kind of connection is going to work, especially because both are scorers, and we know MPJ likes to score. If we're being honest, he loves to score. So we're going to see how they can work together. I mean, MPJ, we thought he was going to get traded. I mean, there's still a chance he can get traded, but I thought he was going to get traded last season. Probably the biggest trade, so I'm going to wait on this one. Grizzlies trade number 16. There's a lot of just trades for the first round. I'm not going to go through most of them. I'm just really going to go to the trades of the players that are already in the league. It's so many picks. So many picks. Braden Smith though. I liked him a lot coming out of college. He was drafted by the Bulls, but he was sent to the Pacers for Cam Jones. Isaiah Stewart, he got traded out of Detroit, which Isaiah Stewart, fun player to watch sometimes. I mean, he's kind of more like Brit and Grime player that you don't see a lot anymore. So it's kind of weird for him not to be on the Pistons because it's like the whole bad boy Pistons. That's what he fits. But he goes sent to the Memphis Grizzlies. Rockets, we traded a pick for cash consideration, so that was fun to see. A big one. This happened yesterday. LaMelo Ball gets traded to Minnesota. LaMelo Ball and Josh Green, actually. Josh Green, 4 points, average 4 points per game. Not too big, but it's LaMelo. And then the Charlotte Hornets get Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first round pick, 3 first round pick swaps in 2028, 2029, 2030, and 3 second round picks in 2029, 2032, and 2033, which is crazy to think that trades in the 30s are getting used so much now. But that's just what's happening. It is 2026 after all. But LaMelo Ball getting sent to Minnesota. And I'm not too opposed player wise. Like, I think he can fit in well because we know LaMelo's not opposed to passing ball. We know he likes scoring, but he averaged 7.1 assists this year, and that's 9th in the league. Averaged 20 points, so that's another guard help for Anthony Edwards, which I think he's been needing. But like, the attitude thing is what worries me a little bit. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he's been pretty good about it, but sometimes he can get annoyed. And if LaMelo plays bad or LaMelo gets annoyed, Chris Finch having to deal with both of them is like, oof, that's a little rough. But I think player wise it could work out. I think the styles, like, they don't clash too much. LaMelo, he likes to shoot. He likes to be kind of erratic around the court, but he can pass the ball around, and I think that'll work for Minnesota. And honestly, I really hope that it can work because I like LaMelo Ball a lot. I think he's a good player, and I think that Minnesota's very, very fortunate to be able to get him in a trade because LaMelo, he really brought his trade value back up this year after the season he had. I think him and Colin Knippel were going back and forth for the most threes in the league, and that really shot his trade value back up. So honestly, props to Charlotte knowing when to trade their star when they need to. I mean, they got 3 first round pick swaps, 3 second round pick swaps, and an unprotected first round pick, and Naz Reid. Like, Naz Reid, a bench player, he could be a starter. I mean, off the bench, 13.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, field goal percentage 45. Like, Naz Reid is not a scrub. Naz Reid is a good player. He's a really good player, which I know, Minnesota loved Naz Reid, so it kind of sucks for them. But it's a really good pickup for Charlotte. And I will say Eric Collins not calling LaMelo's games anymore is probably going to be the biggest pain of this trade, because not hearing him scream LaMelo every game is going to suck. But at the end of the day, it's business. It happens. And then the most recent trade before we get into the biggest one just happened today. The Thunder send Isaiah Joe to the Pistons for 2 second rounders. You know, Oklahoma City just packing up on those second rounders. Isaiah Joe, 11.1 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, one and a third assist. I mean, 45.5%. Like, he's not a bad player either. There's a lot of these Thunder players where I think if they went to a different team, they could have better stats or better playing. And I think Isaiah Joe is just one of those. He's a good player. I mean, through the season, 3-point line, he averaged 42.3%. In the last 10 games, he averaged 53.1%. In the postseason, he was 34.8. In his career, he's 40.6. So another good 3-point shooter. Another postseason where it wasn't like the most spectacular thing, but he wasn't bad at all. So, he only averaged 4.8 assists. Like, he did not get a lot of time, if any. But given a chance somewhere else where he's given that ability to have time, I think he'll be a lot better. So, excited to see what he can do with the Pistons. Pistons, honestly, making some smart trades. I'm liking what they're doing. So we're going to see what that goes. Hopefully he can help out Cade a little bit, but we have to go to the biggest trade of the off season. What can we say about it? We've been waiting an entire year and a half for this. Shams has been reporting about it like every day for a year and a half, saying, "Oh, it's almost done. Oh, it's getting steam. Oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Oh, the Celtics are close. This team's close. All these teams are in it." Giannis Antetokounmpo has finally been traded, and he has been traded to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat acquire forward Giannis Antetokounmpo and forward Bobby Portis. In Milwaukee, they got a lot. They got Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparis, not going to try to pronounce that last name because I'm going to butcher it. 2026 first round, which it was pick 13. 2031 first round pick. 2033 first round pick. 2030 pick swap, and a 2033 second round pick. A lot. They got a lot of good players. I know the Bucks are already shopping Tyler Hero around. That's the report I saw, that they're already shopping him around a bit. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but I'm not surprised. I know there was a lot of stuff where I think his brother put Tyler Hero's brother put like a buck in his comment sections, and that was like kind of a tell that maybe something was happening with Giannis there. There was talks. But they got a lot of good players. If we're just looking through it, Tyler Hero has a foot injury, but he was averaging 20.5 points a game. Khalil Ware, 11, 9 rebounds. Not bad at all. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 15 points, 5 rebounds, almost 5 assists. Like, a lot of these players were having a lot of time. That was, wow. Let me restart. A lot of these players were putting in valuable time to the team. And then Kasparis, not gonna try to pronounce the last name. Sorry, dude. I just don't want to disrespect you and butcher it. 6 points a game. Almost 3 rounds, almost 3 assists. So he's probably the one that's like the weakest in the trade. But then they got a plethora of picks, and just an insane trade that we were just waiting to happen finally. Like, we've been waiting so long for this, and it's kind of crazy how long we've been waiting. But Giannis goes to the Miami Heat. I'm guessing I think it's great for Miami. I think that their team is still good. I think their roster's a little gutted, so they're going to have to fix that up a little bit. But they got Bam Adebayo, Mr. 83 points himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jovic, who has shown promise every so often. Davion Mitchell, who's actually a really good player. Andrew Wiggins, can't forget about him. He's a good player. Norman Powell, he could have been 6th man of the year. Bobby Portis is also good. Like, they have some good players that you really just don't think about, but they can help a lot. And this is like one of those teams that they built around Jimmy Butler, and had a lot of success. And I'm not saying Jimmy Butler can't lead a team. He led them to 2 finals, but if you think about it, there was a team built around Jimmy Butler. There's a lot of things they can do, and there's a lot of players they can still trade or trade for. So I think the team will be fine. You got Giannis anyway, so you're pretty much almost guaranteed a playoff spot. They're probably going to sign Thanasis, just because Giannis likes having his brother on his team. But overall, I think it's a good trade for both teams. Milwaukee got 4 players, 2 players that score in the upper teens or at least 20. And just some promising players. Tyler Hero, he's still young. Jaime Jaquez, really good player. He's gonna have a lot of potential in this league. He already has been very good. Khalil Ware, he's been good. Casparis, he's got some potential. And then just first round picks. So I think both teams, it sucks for Milwaukee to lose their franchise guy that they wanted to keep for his whole career. But Giannis has been wanting to get out for the last 2 years. He won them a championship. That's the most you can ask for out of a player. So I think it was time for both to kind of move on. I will say it sucks because I believe the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks also owns the Browns. So not only have they traded Myles Garrett away, but they've also traded their franchise star in Giannis Antetokounmpo. So rough offseason for that owner, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Talking about Bobby Portis, 13.7 points a game, basically 14, 6.5 rebounds pretty much, and close to 2 assists, 48.8% field goal percentage. Bobby Portis is not a scrub at all. He's a very good player. So, hopefully for both teams it can work out, but we'll have to wait and see. I honestly I can't say that any team came out on top too much than the other. Of course, getting Giannis Antetokounmpo definitely makes you the winner, but Miami did have to give up a lot. So we'll see how it affects each team. I think Miami will definitely come out in the season strong, but Milwaukee they're not gonna be too far in the deep end. I do think they're gonna trade Tyler Hero, which kind of dampers it, but Jaime Jaquez is gonna be really good in my opinion for them, and Khalil Ware. So, and it's not like they're still high and dry. If we're going to the roster, um, they still have the Antetokounmpo brothers. I'm guessing they're gonna release them, but Kyle Kuzma's still there, which it's Kyle Kuzma, so it's a little bit of a mix up. Miles Turner's there. Didn't have the best season, but he can still turn it around. We know what he can do. Ryan Rollins isn't bad. Kevin Porter Jr. not terrible, has his games. So there's still good players on the roster. I do think out of this, it does look a little better for Miami, but then with the Milwaukee roster, you're adding Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, so there's some good players on this team. And then you got a good play in the draft in Nate Ament. So you're not going out of this too bad. So for both teams, I think it wasn't a terrible trade for either. Sucks losing Giannis if you're the Bucks, but you gain some good players. But now we're kind of going to look at the Rockets real quick. Rockets, a lot of interesting things happen. Bruce Thornton, of course, he got signed. We didn't really lose anyone. We still have pretty much everyone from last season. There's a few players where I'm like, if they're gone, whatever. Dorian Finney-Smith, I had a lot of high hopes for him. He did not really live up to my expectations of what I wanted him to be. But Alfred Sengun had good games, had bad games, lost to some games, won us some games. Reed Shepard, I like this year. Jabari Smith, I liked a lot this year. Amen, I liked a lot of the moments he had this year. Kevin Durant, social media stuff, I didn't really like too much, but it's Kevin Durant. He got us buckets, and he won us some games. Torrey Eason, wow, buddy, please get that shot together. That shot at the end of the season was rough. But a lot of good players. And there's actually a player that just got signed to the Rockets, Quadir Copeland. It's a 2-way contract, I believe, but he went to the same high school as me. So it's 1 year away from actually playing with him. But he signed, I think, a 2-way contract with the Houston Rockets. So it's going to be interesting. NC State's Quadir Copeland signs with Houston Rockets as undrafted free agent. And He played pretty good his last 2 years in his college career. Last year, of course, playing with NC State. The year before, playing with McNeese, where they went to I think they won 2 games in the March Madness, maybe just 1, but they beat Clemson and won, and they made the other game close. Um, and if we're looking at his stats from last season, 13.9 points per game, 6.5 assists, 3-point percentage, shooting 39.7, and averaging just 2.8 turnovers. Turnovers sometimes got a little rough for him during the season, but like he is really good at passing. He can score. Like he's gonna be I think he could be a good role player. Um, and that might just be me being a little biased, but it's really cool to see someone that you've kind of been around make it to the league in a way. And I'm just happy for him. I think it's a really good story how he got there, and just good luck. Just like wish the best for him. Hopefully, he can really make an impact. Might be put to the G League. We'll see what happens, but I think he's gonna be good. I think he can be a little bit of a sleeper. But that's all for the Rockets. Rockets. I was annoyed with what happened in the playoffs. I thought we could at least beat the Lakers, and we didn't. But there's also been a rumor, and it's Jaylen Brown to the Rockets. That's been a rumor, but it's been a rumor for a lot of teams for him. And if I saw correctly, and this is just like a rumor, of course, we got to take it with a grain of salt. But the Celtics were asking for 4 first-round picks, and love Jaylen Brown, love him as a player. I don't really want to give 4 first-round picks for him. You know, maybe it happens, and at the end of the day, you got to deal with it. But whew, that would be a lot for him. But you know, trades happen every day. Crazy trades happen, and if it did happen, like say it happened like right now during this recording, which it didn't because I'd get the notification because I've been looking through ESPN for all these stats. Whoopsies, sorry. Um, then I'd be like, you know what? It happened. We're gonna move on. We're gonna see what Jaylen Brown can do to the team. I'll be excited, but I don't think it would be the best trade for us to make. I think he's a great player, but I think the Celtics really want to keep him, and that's why the asking price is so high for him. He had a great season. I can't take away from what he did. Had an amazing season, but I just think the asking price is a little too steep for the team, personally. But at the end of the day, if we trade for him, I'd still be kind of excited for Jaylen Brown. But moving on from the NBA to some PLL action, my Maryland Whipsnakes are still on the top of the Eastern Conference. Not by a lot though, because we were 3-1, ended up losing last weekend to the New York Atlas in a very close game. Like it wasn't it wasn't like not close. It wasn't a blowout. It was a pretty close game. We play again this weekend, but if we go back to last week, it was Saturday, June 20th. Maryland Whipsnakes losing 14-16 to the New York Atlas, which they are the reigning champs, so I'm not mad at it. But also, you're like, there's a big game for us to win. Atlas winning 2 games last weekend, so they really helped their standing out because they were struggling for a bit. But Whipsnakes getting back into it. Rough game for a few of our players, and I think the one we're talking about most is probably Joey Spallina. I know he didn't do it wasn't a horrible game. Like I know he didn't like fully stink it up, but I know he could do better because we were leading through a lot of the game, or at least really close, and then at the end of the last quarter, the Atlas just kind of took over. But if I'm going to the box score, one second, stats. There you go. Joey Spallina. Sorry. 2 points, 2 assists. So he's passing the ball around. It's just shot percentage was 0. Took 3 shots, missed all 3. RP3 though, 6 points, 1 goal, 5 assists. He's been a dog. And he's one of the greatest of all time. So great to have him on the roster. Really happy with him. But if we're looking at Spallina's, stats so far, we have two goals, just 2 1-point goals, 7 assists though, so he's been good on assisting. He's played in 3 games. First game, of course, getting 5 points. In the last 2 games, he's missed all his shots. He's missed his last 7. He out of the first 7 shots, he was 2 for 7. Last 7, 0 for 7. So he's 2 for 14 through the season so far, but he's gotten 2 or more assists every game. So I can't be mad at the assist numbers. That's what he's kind of known for. But I would like it if he could get his shots up a little better, but can't be mad at him. He's a rookie. Shot percentage 14.3 isn't the most fun though. And his shots on goals 57.1%. Not terrible, but he's been playing all right. I think he's helping the team because he's kind of taken he's one of those players where they know how like explosive he can be, so he's kind of taking, I guess, stress off of other players that were getting guarded heavy. So for more it opens it opens for more movement throughout the game for other players. So can't be mad at it. He's been doing good for what he's been in. But this weekend, it's gonna be tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Maryland Whipsnakes will face off against the Denver Outlaws, and I'm excited for it. Denver absolutely walloped the Atlas, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, and it was insane how they did how they did them. Um, Outlaws tied for second place in the Western Conference. I know, actually third place. Sorry, the Carolina Chaos are 3-2. California Redwoods leading that conference 3-1, and Maryland we're still leading, but we're tied with the New York 3 wins. They just have one more loss. So this weekend is a big weekend for us because it can extend our lead in the conference by 1 win and kind of make it a little more comfortable with us because the Atlas do not play. So that's a big game for us. Carolina Chaos versus the California Redwoods is going to be a great game on Sunday. Hopefully, yeah, I can get that one on. That'll be fun. And then late at night, Saturday, 8:30, Boston Cannons versus the Redwoods. So the Redwoods having 2 games this week. They should beat Boston. Boston is 1-4. They just released one of their better guys. So, having a little rough streak this year. Only team with only 1 win. Everyone else has 2 or more. But they're not a bad team. They're just not playing well. But now you got California. These are 2 big games because if they lose to the Chaos, that'll tie them completely. But if they lose to Boston somehow, they'll lose their first place. So this is a big weekend for the Redwoods with the 2 games. So best to them. Hopefully they can pull it out. I know Spalina's father is, I think, the GM of the Redwoods. So good luck. Good best to him. And I just hope that the Whipsnakes can continue to show the league why they can be the top. And if the Redwoods have a bad weekend, Maryland could be number 1, maybe tied with the Chaos. So, because overall, we're number 1 just because the score differential and that type of stuff. But if we lose and the Redwoods win, they're going to be number 1. And the Chaos, if they win, they could also be tied with us. So hopefully Maryland can get it done and prove why we are actually a really strong team and it wasn't just a fluke. So I think that's going to be all for today's episode. A little shorter than the last few just because not as much to talk about, and other than the NBA, that took up a lot of the time, and the lacrosse still kind of getting a roll with it, trying to learn a new sport. But thank you so much for watching. Real quick before I ended, I just wanted to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for all the opportunities I get and everything he helps me get through, and I just want to thank him for everything. But thank you so much for watching this episode. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.